It was a roller coaster day for Aston Martin at the start of pre-season testing for the 2023 F1 season. Formula 2 champ Felipe Drugovich, standing in for the injured Lance Stroll, had his car shut down just 9 minutes into the test, losing the team precious time in trying to understand their brand new car. But Fernando Alonso stepped in and stole the show in the final hour of the day, finishing up narrowly second fastest, just 29 thousandths of a second behind world champion Max Verstappen's Red Bull, and nearly 4 tenths quicker than both Ferrari's and Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes. So how can Aston Martin, a team that finished only 7th in the constructors' standings just 3 months ago, suddenly match the biggest factory names in the sport today? First up, you have to consider the development of the car. Aston Martin's 2023 Challenger, the AMR 23, is 95% new according to the team. The team is ambitious and investing heavily in facilities and aerodynamic expertise. That's why Alonso switched from Alpine after all. And it's also the first car spearheaded by Dan Fallows, Red Bull's former chief of aerodynamics. So there is a genuine chance that Aston has closed the gap to the top teams via his expertise. Anyone that's come from the camp of Adrian Newey probably knows what they're doing. Compare this eye-catching performance to one of Aston Martin's midfield rivals for 2023, McLaren. Team Papaya played down their latest car at their launch and they struggled in Bahrain. Brake cooling issues lost Lando Norris seat time and led to the viral picture of the day, him looking rather miserable on the sidelines. Lando pushed hard like Fernando in the final hour of track running but could only manage 5th, 6 tenths of a second slower than Fernando on the same tyres. But there's a few other factors that also contributed to Alonso's pace. His run was quite literally at the end of the night, where the track is at its fastest, cooler than in the morning, and with lots of rubber down from nearly 8 hours of constant running. We also don't know the relative fuel loads and thus how much extra ballast each car was carrying. And the big teams just weren't testing the same way. Verstappen's best time was done in the morning on a slippery and much hotter and slower track. Max was clearly sandbagging the Red Bull's true pace too. He looked well under control behind the wheel. Ferrari were easing in a newly redesigned power unit after many failures last season, and Mercedes spent the morning figuring out if their new car was still bouncing like the old one. The big teams also tend to play on the cautious side, showing more of their true performance later in testing. Aston Martin were probably on a different program and may actually slip back a bit, but with arch rivals McLaren trying a similar late push and struggling, the future might still be looking bright for Aston as they seek to progress to the top of F1's midfield this year. But what do you think? Is Aston's pace genuine? Where do you think they'll finish in 2023? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe.